Hi, my name is Derek Lee. I was diagnosed with more than 13 autoimmune disorders and/or diseases based on Western medicine. I was also diagnosed with polycythemia, which is a blood disorder. Starting in 2015 was when all my autoimmune disorders started being diagnosed. These are all the results of what Western medicine believes to be the result of a traumatic brain injury. And so, starting in January 2019, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Then I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Then I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And then I was diagnosed with ALS. And finally, in December of 2019, I was diagnosed with fully developed dementia and estimated to have less than 6 months to live based on brain degradation as the result of traumatic brain injury. And so to back up a little bit to try to communicate what I was going through, roughly on average in 2019, I had a resting heart rate of 140 beats per minute. My blood pressure is 80/50. I was donating blood every 1 to 2 weeks because my body was mass producing red blood cells, this polycythemia. So what I recognized during 2019 is I believed my brain was starving for oxygen. That's why the signals from the brain to the body is trying to generate more red blood cells to transport more oxygen to the brain. The problem I was having, one of the problems I was having, was that the oxygen molecule kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So the brain was actually receiving less oxygen. And so that's what precipitated what I believe to be all these autoimmune disorders and diseases is just a compounding chain of events. So what I recognized during 2019 was that I'm going to have to probably develop something to heal myself, to be able to heal my brain, because Western medicine doesn't know how to do that. Western medicine, they don't know how to get through the blood-brain barrier to benefit how the brain function. Western medicine can provide a stimulant effect to affect the brain, but it doesn't know how to necessarily get past the blood-brain barrier to actually benefit the brain. So I don't have access to a full-blown lab. I don't have any research equipment. So what I have to do is what a lot of people have to do is use natural ingredients. And so what I did is I built an amino acid complex to repair my brain. And this is currently 2025. And so all of my the compounding chain of events started for me in 2019. So January 2019, multiple sclerosis. December 2019, fully developed dementia. So in a 1 year time frame, all of those disorders precipitated based on TBI, traumatic brain injury. And so in developing an amino acid complex to repair my brain, so amino acid complex can be a messenger. It's going to be communication to the brain in order to rebuild the brain. So once I developed that, I had to understand how it was working. And so once I developed the amino acid complex, we paired other natural ingredients to benefit the effects, to compound the benefits, to be able to benefit our immune system, to be able to benefit more messenger-based ingredients to not only the brain, but also to the body, because we can't just rebuild the brain from a singularity. We have to rebuild the brain from a multifaceted perspective, because the brain doesn't function based on a singularity. So this is why we have an amino acid complex, not a single chain or a single amino acid, because it's not going to benefit the brain. That's a single molecular structure. So it has to be numerous chains of amino acids to be a communication device. This is what I developed. And we've transformed that amino acid complex into numerous formulas, starting off with our base formula called Restore. It took me 2 years to refine, Restore, and to be able to understand how it's actually working. It took us 5 different generations to get it to the place it's at now. However, it's pretty efficient. So going back a little bit now, once I developed the amino acid complex and being diagnosed with 13 autoimmune disorders or diseases, I'm given less than 6 months to live, and developing this formula that still people don't understand how or why it works. What I can tell you is it works on the brain. It most likely has the direct effect on how the hypothalamus functions. In order to get to the brain, it has to go through the hypothalamus. And this is mostly coming from a functional place. I don't necessarily have a very scientific background, but I understand the functionality. And so after developing this amino acid complex, it took me about 6 months of taking Restore to reverse all 13 autoimmune disorders or diseases. It all depends on how you want to look at it. An additional 6 months to rebuild the majority of my memory. And this is one of the benefits of Restore, being consistent and being persistent with it and just allowing it to do the work. And so what we've recognized, what Restore can do is that we can actually balance the immune system and improve the efficacy of the immune system by activating the brain. And so this is kind of an overview. This is kind of a background of where I've come from and what we've done and how we're going to go forward based on not only Restore, but how the amino acid complex works. And with all of our formulas, we're going to break it down and communicate how everything works to not only provide the customer or individuals the information, but to be able to dissect it. And so this is going to be good. This is very exciting. I'm very excited. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.